is anybody else coming by
I
chance?
think this is gonna be
Okay.
Well, this probably will be it.
So I'm Michael Urey. I own Solid Rock Realtors. I started, it was Groundhog's Day 2009. So we have started out just, regular residential sales, and we've expanded. It was just one person at the very beginning, and then we had a couple people in 2009 join us. And then, word got around, and we've now grown to where we're over 100 agents. We have 4 offices servicing all of northeastern Oklahoma. We do commercial, vacant land, farms, residential, just all of that stuff that you're gonna have fun with. So what we do, we rely real heavily on our online presence and marketing. We don't do a lot of print media strategies. Because people, when they're thinking about buying a property, they don't go and grab the newspaper and all that. And especially if we have something along these lines, they're not, they're going to call, some brokers in the area, have people just, run the numbers for them before they're interested. And in many cases, what we do is we submit site plans for these guys. They don't want to talk to us. They don't want to have a meeting with us. They want to see what we've got first if we submit it to them. And then what they'll do is, that's cracking me up.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I would just let it all down.
Yeah, I tried.
But so then they reach back out to us. But what we do is we just have to stay in front of them, and that policy worked real well. We were able to sell a Subway where they built in Chelsea, and we just kind of continue to follow up with them, and they end up building a spot there in town. But I just want to tell you a little bit about Solid Rock. We are 5-star, if you see here on Zillow. Zillow is what most people are going to when they're looking online. We are a 5-star company. We have over 300 reviews, and so that's worked out real well for us. And to have that many reviews and we're a full 5-star company, that's saying a lot. We don't get very many complaints, and if and when we do, we just go face to face with them and visit with them and try to figure out the problems. Communication is always key in any kind of sales, and especially real estate sales. But myself, just to give you a little background on me, I've sold over 300 listings, and I've sold almost 200 where we've represented the buyer, or I personally. So I have almost 500 transactions under my belt, whether it's vacant land, commercial, residential, just all of it. And obviously, the lion's share of it is residential, because that's just, to be honest, that's the easiest thing to get into and easiest thing to flip and sell. There's a whole lot more people than there are businesses, and so that's where a lot of that focus has been. But what we do, everything that we do rely on, it can coincide back and forth. The contracts, the commercial contracts, are almost verbatim to the residential contracts. But in many cases, when we're dealing with large companies, they're going to have their own addendums that they're going to require to send over anyway. And so they're all going to be different. And so we just sit down. If you guys have attorneys to review, we can do that. And we have attorneys that we can send it to review as well, that we trust, that are local, that can get some of the work done. So we can handle it from there. Some of the other stuff that I was going to show you guys is, let's see here. This is our growth rate with listings over the last 5 years in our company. You can see that we've just continued to go up, and this also does not include. We have a Northeast Board of Realtors that kind of splits our business. And so we started with that Northeast Board, which is the Grand Lake properties, all of the stuff in northeastern Oklahoma. So we have, in 2014, we'd split off and had a company go up there, up north, where we started adding sales to. And so a large part of our sales, of our growth, aren't even reflected, because this is the Tulsa area, which is where this property is. So we're just kind of reflecting that area. And then this is where we have buyers. Oops, I just actually closed that and hit the wrong button. I'll just. All right, that's our buyers growth strategy. So you can see the growth from there as well. have stepped up a lot. Nearly every 2 years, there's a typo in the thing, but nearly every 2 years we've doubled our sales growth, which is outstanding for a real estate company. But what we do, and probably one of the reasons we're attractive to a lot of people, is we understand that people are different and properties are different, and so marketing's got to be different. So we're not a national franchise company. We are local, which is good. Anymore, there's no big advantage for franchise companies because of the internet. You know, so there are nationwide companies, but there's worldwide internet. You know, and so we're able to put more money into it. And one of the advantages that we have, those franchise companies come and take that money from their sales, and they may go to more competitive markets like Austin, St. Louis, and San Diego. You know, they don't care specifically for this area. And if you guys are in Duncan, you probably don't see very many franchise company commercials.
No.
You know, and so same thing in Tulsa. And so what we focus on is where are buyers going and what are they doing. So we're on LoopNet, we're on Connect CIE, we're on all the commercial marketing, we're on the land marketing, Lands of Oklahoma, Lands of America, which we would put this on as well. And so that's where we thrive. We put our stuff on there. We really try to enhance our marketing. I will turn it over to Sarah to go over some stuff. But I've got the video in here, so you just let me know when you need it.
Let's go ahead and show them the video.
Okay.
For those of you that haven't gotten over to that area lately, we did a drone video for you all to show you
So
some of the development around there and just kind of what the property really looks like and where it sits.
This is just kind of part of it, and the reason we want to show you this, and please understand, we're not saying anything negative. We're just pointing out the obvious. I'm trying to be very respectful to other people, but currently this is your marketing strategy. We have the highlighted here. This is what people are seeing today. All right, and then the next is the potential growth for the area, and which is probably not a really great slide because if you look at it, it tapers down. You know, so it kind of goes up and it's starting to kind of work. Yeah, and so we don't really want that to be out there.
Amen.
You know, but that's it. So when I come to the next photo, it's the same as the first. And so we have an $11 million property with one photo. And again, I'm not trying to say anything rude, but facts are facts. This is what's out there. Let me see if I can find
And
that.
just to kind of show you the difference, the different approach that we have.
Do y'all feel like you have more views on LoopNet or on Zillow?
Well, Zillow's more of a residential.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But LoopNet is working, but the problem with LoopNet, they're losing a lot of commercial people in Oklahoma. Because LoopNet is incredibly expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's a deal called Connect CIE for the Tulsa and Oklahoma City markets. And Connect CIE was actually done by Tulsa's Association of Realtors, Greater Tulsa Association of Realtors. And so what they're doing is it's about a third of the price as LoopNet. And they have a lot of brokers that are dropping LoopNet and connecting up with Connect CIE. And I'm actually on the board for that, for the actual Tulsa MLS. And so I was there when we actually voted it in. And, you know, every month on the third Thursday, I meet with Ron Turner, who's the executive over that. And we go over all the updates and who all has signed up for the month. You know, so we're very involved. So when there's something wrong with it, we get to, I actually get to come. We actually had an issue not too long ago where we had a problem with one of the documents. One of our agents had an idea, so I got to go sitting on the board. I got to present the idea, and a few months later, the document was fully changed. So that's nice, just to be kind of in the know. But yeah, so LoopNet is nice. Zillow and LoopNet are
Well,
both
that's
okay.
why I was surprised that you even mentioned Zillow, because I feel like it's more residential.
It is, but it is also, it's where a lot of people go. I mean, people go there for knowledge.
These big corporations that are looking for land to buy,
Mhm.
they don't go look for a realtor. They look themselves
Right.
online to
Mhm.
find this property.
Mhm.
What do you feel like is the most popular website that, say a convenience store, Get and Go or whatever, they want to find some property, do they just go straight to the websites, or would they go find a realtor in the city that they're
A lot
talking
of
about
them have
property in?
their own brokers. Like we deal with Casey's General Store, and they've got a broker in Joplin, Missouri that does all of Oklahoma stuff. And so we just stay in communication with that broker.
So that
who works
broker knows
directly.
that they're looking for something.
Absolutely. Yeah, he calls us, tells us what they're looking for.
Because I know, like on LoopNet,
Mhm.
a lot of times a consumer can't see everything that's on LoopNet. You've
Right.
got to be a subscriber to LoopNet.
Yep.
Well, most people are not,
Right.
unless you're a commercial realtor.
Yep.
And that kind of avoid. There's a lot of people that don't see it.
True, but also at the same time, Costco, they're not going to have an employee going and looking this up. They're going to know where they already know the demographics. They know where they want to go, and they've got a broker involved that probably handles all of their stuff nationwide.
So they know they want to go Owasso.
Yeah, exactly.
So they find their broker goes to Owasso and stuff.
Their broker goes and finds, and their broker is probably already connected with what we've got. And we will be on both Connect CIE, which is what all the local brokers are starting to use, and we'll be on LoopNet as well. So there's not a problem being on both versus one or the other. And the reason I brought up Zillow was not to say, hey, we want to market this residentially, but I just want you to see that we,
Should cover all your bases.
well, absolutely.
Right.
But we'd also, how many companies have full 5-star review? So that's real nice to have that many customers and a full 5-star. On a non-biased website that anybody can come on and leave us a review, and there's no backlash if they did leave us a bad review. It sticks. So that's why we brought that up.
And that's kind of where my thought process came in is, we can't just trust the internet and websites to get these properties out there and exposed. We've got to go directly to these companies and pitch them, kind of put together a marketing brochure or, even digital, through the internet, send them these videos and say, look this is something that's available out there. We can put your little, we
So
can.
would you consider a lawsuit?
Yes, if this is
And they may not even be considering it, but
right.
bring it to their
But
attention.
if we are putting it in their mind and kind of painting the picture for them, I think that it at least helps more than just sitting and waiting for somebody to get on the internet and be looking.
You said that Amazon recently built something in
Yes,
Arrow.
they're in Owasso.
Yeah, they're in Owasso.
Amazon is?
Yeah, but it's a
That was
fulfillment
my next
center.
question. How about Amazon?
I know GT Bynum really tried very hard to get Amazon's second headquarters in Tulsa.
But aren't
But that
isn't
didn't
it Amazon that's building that big building south of Oklahoma City?
Uh,
South
they,
Oklahoma City?
they might be,
think
but I know
I've
that
heard
they're building a fulfillment center in Owasso, but they kept it over by the Macy's fulfillment center.
It's south of
so-
your property.
Yeah, it's on the opposite side of town. It's more the industrial
Industrial
area.
So it's closer to Tulsa then.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's right off 75, isn't it?
Yeah, 75 and 76. And so, but that's where Macy's has a real huge distribution center there. There's Enterprises over there, Verizon's over there. There's a lot of big corporations, and they just kind of stay
I just
all
don't
over
see a
there.
distribution center building on
No.
our property anyway because
No.
of the surroundings.
No, I fully agree. We have some ideas for your property, but that's going to be entirely up to you guys.
Oh, well.
So, Sarah, I'm going to flip this.
Oh, that's YouTube.
Oh, I have one real quick question for
Oh,
you.
yes, sir.
According to your letter here, it says you voted best real estate brokerage in Claremore in 2018. Are you the only? I thought
No.
maybe you were the only real
No,
estate brokerage
no.
in Claremore.
One out of one.
So no, we have we're competing against two other nationally franchised companies.
Oh,
we've
yeah,
outsold
okay.
both of them.
Okay.
And they were there before we ever started our brokerage.
Oh, yeah.
And so we've been able to grow it and surpass them.
So
in
where's
success.
Claremore?
Claremore is just east of your property by about 12, 13 miles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right there on Highway 20. It's real quick. So, but yeah, so we have several companies
Oh,
that we
well,
can
good.
get
I was kind of curious because I knew Claremore wasn't too big a city.
Thanks for that observation.
Yeah, what is the population population of Claremore?
About 19,000.
Oh, you're smaller than Duncan.
It's Duncan's pretty. What is it?
We're at 27, I think.
So Duncan and Owasso are about the same. And
You mean Claremore?
well, Claremore's a little smaller. Owasso's about the
Oh.
same size as Duncan.
Oh, I see.
But Claremore's the county seat. So if you go, the interesting thing about Claremore is it's one of the only areas that it has. The city of Verdigris is in it. You know, there's a whole lot of school districts that come all the way up to it, and so the school is completely locked, landlocked, because all the other school districts come up to it. It's just kind of a unique. You can drive 7-8 miles out of town, and the whole thing's weird because you can drive right through another school district into another one, and you're still in Claremore.
Oh, you're still in Claremore.
Yeah, so it's just a very unique area. But yeah, so Owasso and Duncan are about the same size.
Yeah.
But you guys
Owasso
are out
just
there.
has a lot more commercial properties than Duncan because of the location.
Oh yeah,
You know,
I
we're
mean,
not on
you're-
an interstate anywhere. We're out in the middle of nowhere.
right. Yeah, you're by yourself. You're kind of like Bartlesville is, but even further out. But the thing with Owasso, you know, you're 6 miles to Tulsa.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, that's right.
And everything from Tulsa is starting to
It's
move
north and that way.
towards Owasso.
Can you see that?
Hey, yeah, that's good. Uh-huh.
Now, would you agree that that looks a little bit better?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hey,
sure.
that's good.
So we're trying to highlight what's around it,
Uh-huh.
what's already there.
Yeah, that's the 10 acres that my mother donated to that where that pond is.
Oh yeah.
She donated that in 2000.
So that was directly south of you.
That's on the other side of the highway.
Yeah. So here's your property. Right there you go.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's across from your property, just to the south.
That used to be Opal Robinson's property.
I know.
Yeah,
I
we
saw
saw
that.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
It has been
We
built up.
sold that in 1999 to David Charney.
She did. We didn't have it.
That's the new come and go right across from your property.
Yeah. No, our Vesta Bank is going in this spot, right? Well,
Uh-oh.
it was right next to that come and go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you were saying this is the last large tract left
Yeah,
directly in the
it's-
city that's available.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's some other pockets, but we're talking, you know, right there at the highway. If you go to LoopNet, you'll see some other ones. But that's, you know, the other ones. There's one other one on 116th, just directly north of this property, and but they already have a master plan for it. The developers, the Wausau Land Trust, they already have a master plan for it. So when you see it, you see the subdivisions laid out where the ponds go and all the streets and all of that. So,
Yeah, they've already had it platted, all the surveying done, it's all been laid out.
Well, Wausau Land Trust,
So it's not for
that's
sale,
David
then?
Charney's.
No, it's for
stuff,
sale.
I think,
Yes.
isn't it?
But they're trying to sell it as a master plan.
Oh.
Yeah. Sarah, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Okay.
So where do you want me to go in here? Your slide?
Yes,
Okay, dokie.
we'll just go on to the third. Since Michael went on, or I guess to the fifth slide.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that all covers solid rock stats and stuff that he's.
You're the pusher.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm gonna do this one, just make sure.
I don't mind sitting in the little
The
chair.
janky chair.
Okay.
Just gonna go all the way down over here.
All right, I'm a full-time realtor and a wife and a mother of 3. For the past 19 years, my husband and I have been laying the groundwork for our future and the future of our family. When he decided to switch from civil engineering courses to land surveying, we were young and we thought, hey, our big life plan, we're going to get into land development. And so I spent many years supporting my husband's journey to becoming a successful registered land surveyor by keeping the household, raising our children, and really trying to come up with a good plan to successfully accomplish our lofty goal. So in 2015, we decided it was a good time for me to get my real estate license, and I've spent the first 3 years of being a realtor gaining knowledge and experience on how to build a lasting and a successful real estate business. I have high expectations of myself, and I'm not afraid to dream big. I don't want to just be good at my job. I want to be great. And like any other licensed professionals, specialized certifications and designations are essential to providing the best service to clients. This year I've set a goal to start the process of acquiring my ALC designation and my SRS certification in order to reach the next level of my career.
Now, does that mean you're a commercial realtor?
Actually, this is for accredited land consultants
Oh, I see.
and a seller representative specialist.
Excuse me for interrupting.
Oh, that's okay. Not a problem. Sorry, I get a little nervous.
Well, that's all right, but we don't understand some of those.
Right. Yeah, and
those
we
initials,
can, that's why I wanted to give
Since
you
we're
the
not
slides.
into the
So,
real estate business ourselves. So.
yes, definitely. And I'm currently in the process of building a team of licensed and skilled professionals in order to maximize our efficiency in offering real estate services. That's why my sister Nicole is here today. She just got licensed, and my dad is getting licensed as well. So we're slowly building. We're getting there. But in real estate, you really have a lot to learn in order to become really good at one area. Initiating contact and offering real estate services to prospects is vital to any real estate career. When your expired listing came across my lead generating program, I did a quick search of your time on the market and ideas of how I thought I could assist in getting this property sold. I mean, it just flooded my brain. It was like a light turned on and it just went wild. With such a high price tag, many realtors are scared off from calling, but not me. I kind of tend to swing for the fences, and I have a gift of gab. So I picked up the phone and I called, and I thankfully got John on the other line, and we had a very pleasant conversation, and he asked me to send some additional information, so that's when I sent the letter. Matt called and talked to me, and we've been in contact since. Matt expressed that there's some frustration within the group regarding your time on the market. And I think it's safe to say that everybody is ready to kind of move on and get on with life. My goal here today is to rekindle that fire within each of you about how great and desirable your property truly is. I want you to be excited about what the sale of this property would mean for you and the family. But most importantly, I want you all to feel confident in the broker that you choose to represent you. I'm very familiar with the city of Owasso, and I've seen a tremendous amount of growth in the past 16 years. When my husband and I bought our first home in Owasso way back in 2003, Garnett Road was still a gravel road, and Smith Farm was still a farm. Nowadays, I don't know if you're familiar, but Smith Farm is a huge shopping center. And that really boosted when we went to sell in 2012, it really boosted our property values over there. And Garnett Road is a 4-lane road with a turning lane, center turning lane. So it's quite a difference from a gravel road and a farm. But knowing the area well, I know that your property is in a prime location for commercial or multi-residential development. And there's been development on every side of it. It is commonly said in the real estate world that if property hasn't sold, that price is your problem. But that's not always the case. When I look at expired listings, price is always the first thing I look at to try to see why it hasn't sold. But after my research of the market, you guys have been really competitively priced. And I wouldn't suggest coming off at that price.
Would you suggest going up?
No, I would stay right where you all are. You're really in a sweet spot. Because if you go up, people will say, well, you've been sitting on the market for 10 years and they're going to wait for you to come back down.
Well, what I'm thinking is going up is because everything's building up around us, and
Right.
if we're the only thing left, it may be more valuable, right?
Right, it could be. But really, you really want to get it sold. You haven't sold in 10 years.
Yeah, but we want to get the most of them that we can.
Yes, and I agree with that. And one of the ways to do that, and I'll get to that in a little bit, is through lot splits. And we've kind of come up with some ideas on how we could approach that, but it is very costly to get it split up. And all, because then you have to get a plat survey, and then it has to go to the planning commission and all that good stuff, and then they'll probably make you go ahead
Well,
and
no,
have it
we've been going
rezoned.
through that for about the last 6 months.
And it fell apart, right?
Yeah. But, while correct pricing is extremely important, I believe that marketing is an equally important component to getting any property sold. I'm not sure what your previous marketing plan looked like, and I'm not here to criticize your agents. But I'm just simply here to tell you our ideas that we've come up with. The MLS.
Does MLS stand for something? Is that
Multiple
Yes, it's
listing
a multiple
service.
listing service.
yeah.
And when we put properties listings into the MLS, it goes out to hundreds of websites, including national brands such as Coldwell Banker and Keller Williams and all the big national brands. So the current real estate market relies heavily on technology to get properties the maximum amount of exposure. In 2018, 89% of U.S. adults were reported to have used the internet at least occasionally. So it's extremely important to have huge online presence. But this is not achieved through MLS alone. Therefore, every single one of my listings gets its own unique website, professional photography and video, social media marketing, and YouTube videos. Land and commercial listings are published on sites that are specifically designed for those specialized markets, such as LoopNet and Connect CIE. But in addition to utilizing the World Wide Web, your property will need a lot of active and direct marketing. This is where I think my contacts will come in very handy. I have strong connections to highly respected civil engineering firms and land surveying companies whose services are required for any developer. So I plan to get a hold of all of them and, hey, who's your client? Who are you working for? And then we hit those developers. I hold exclusive memberships to nationwide social media marketing groups and land development groups for realtors, giving me access to specialized agents in the U.S. and Canada. I have good working relationships with many of my fellow realtors from many different brokerages all over Northeast Oklahoma. Some family as well throughout the state. And with that, if we can find realtors that are working, brokers that are working with clients that have investors and developers on their client list and their contact list, that's why we would hammer to them your property. Just send it. Hey, you got anybody looking here? Or you got somebody wanting to move here? Kind of deal. But most importantly, I have connections to a couple of committee members of the city of Owasso. If I'm hired to market your property, my very first order of business would be to schedule a meeting with a member of the Capital Improvements Committee and the Director of Economic Development of the city of Owasso. I believe this is the best way to find out what the city wants to see and are more likely to approve of moving into your highly visible spot. Because these committees, that's what they're looking out for, the citizens of Owasso, and they're kind of picky. So I think that talking directly to them would be beneficial.
It'd be different if your property was a mile off the highway, but seeing that you're right on the highway, we've got really have to partner with those guys.
It seems like the city makes a lot of demands, and they just shrink it down. What's happened this 2.5, they just take it all away from us, and they say, and the buyer says, "Well, I don't have any land to work with now." Is essentially what
That's
happens.
happened twice.
No.
And
Yeah,
those
they
are
lost a sale.
potential